My first experience, in this other set of stories for the month of terror, was shared by Teresa Rodríguez. She writes to us from Sinaloa, Mexico. This happened to me a long time ago. I was probably around 4 or 5 years old. It was one of those weekends when my mother and I would stay overnight in my grandmother's house. We were in her bedroom on the second floor, watching something, maybe a TV show or a novel. Then my grandmother asked me, as a favor, to bring her a glass of water. So I left the room, walked down the stairs, turning on the lights as I passed, went into the kitchen, poured the water, and then turned to go back up. But when I turned, beside the stairs, there was what I can only describe as a shadow. Not like a shadow cast on a wall. This one was standing upright, like a person, as if it wasn't formed by anything at all. It was literally the shadow of a very tall person wearing a hat, a fairly large hat. I didn't know if it was looking at me, because I couldn't see any facial features, no clear eyes, nothing. Where it stood, it was a little darker, but even so, I could easily see it. And in those few seconds, even though I couldn't confirm it clearly, the doubt, whether it was watching me or not, turned into certainty. Something in me told me it was looking straight toward where I was. I can't really explain why. Maybe it was the way the figure seemed positioned, or maybe because the feeling was so heavy, as if I was being watched. At that age I didn't have the words to understand it, but that was the moment I learned those feelings you only get in situations like that. And I learned fear too. I didn't run. Instead, I began walking quickly back toward the stairs, trying not to look directly at the shadow, even though I kept catching it in the corner of my eye as I went up. The stairs felt unbearably long, like they would never end. It wasn't that going up was impossible, it's just that, as I walked upward, I saw the thing turn its head to look at me. The hat rotated too, almost as if it had to move just to keep its view on my face, which was covered by the brim. When I finally reached the top of the stairs, before I turned right toward my grandmother's bedroom door, I noticed something, or someone, on the left side. It made me glance that way, expecting it to be my mother or my grandmother, so I could tell them what I'd seen downstairs. But when I turned back toward the dark doorway of the room, where my mother and I were staying, standing in the doorframe, was that same shadow again. It was there, upright, staring at me once more. That was when I lost it. I screamed, so loudly, so intensely, that my mother later told me she and my grandmother ran out immediately. They asked me what happened, thinking I had fallen, gotten hurt, been stung by something, anything. I told them everything. They took me into my grandmother's room, and the night passed. What's strange is that, from all of it, I didn't even remember anything. I guess my mind protected me from that encounter. I had been fine after that. I wasn't afraid of the dark, and I could walk around the house alone with the lights on. But not long ago, my mother told me something that changed everything. She said that when I was 5, she had also seen a shadow watching both of us. She never saw it move. It just stayed standing there, wearing that enormous hat. My mother told me this only a few months ago. Now I'm 19 years old, and yes, I'm still terrified that I might come across something like that again. When my mother told me the same thing, it didn't just bring back the memory of what I saw. It unlocked the feeling too, the sense that someone, something, had been observing me.